everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Catherine and today's video is going to be a May reseller recap, right? Yeah, we're in May. No, we're in June, but I'm going over May's numbers. Always gets me a little bit when I do that. Okay, so if you're new to a reseller recap, basically it is going over all of my numbers that I had the month prior. So total sales, cost of goods, total profits. Try to break down everything for you so you can see what it realistically is for a part-time reseller like myself. I resell on multiple different platforms, my biggest one being Poshmark, and so I just like to break everything down for me, for you, just to kind of see what it's like to be a reseller. So if that's something you want to watch, then please stick around. All right, so let's get started. So all these numbers are coming from the month of May. I usually like to wait, this is a little bit longer than I normally like to wait for recapping everything, but basically it gives me time just in case if any returns happen, anything happens, gives me enough time to kind of really solidify some of my numbers. So for the month of May, my total sales numbers was $2,777.86. So my cost of goods from that, so what I actually spent on that product, was $1,069.74. My total profit was $1,708.12. So I have been loving my profit lately. I will tell you, I'm not one of those like six-figure resellers or anything like that. Not saying that I couldn't be, but I also have a full-time job as a mental health therapist. So I pretty much just do this on the hours that I'm not working, while also trying to still live a life, I guess, of things that I enjoy. So this is a very like part-time side hustle kind of thing, but it is, I mean, realistic to bring in some extra cash for whatever it may be. I know we use it for like travel, we use it for just kind of extra stuff. Like we just purchased a thrifted Peloton, so I was very happy about that. So we, things like that aren't necessarily needs but are wants. Reselling allows us to do things like that. So total profit of just over $1,700 is wonderful. Is that typical? Not really. That is on the higher side, and I will break down as to why it is on the higher side. But as of this year, I've kind of been hitting more of that $1,000 mark each month, which is excellent. I used to say that $750 was great profit wise. It kind of brought you down, it brought you to about like the $10,000 mark each year. So I've kind of been shooting for $1,000 each month and definitely exceeded that. So let's kind of break it down even further. The total number of items that I sold was 167 items. That is just so cool to think that 167 items passed through me to their next place. And that also is relatively high. Again, we will talk as to why that is high, but 176 items sold. So my average listing price per item was $21.55. My average cost of goods for each item was $6.41. And then my average profit per item is relatively low. Again, I keep referencing that we'll talk about why it was low, but it was at $10.23. So my average days to sell was 45 days. So again, I always like to include the average days of sales because it's nice to know that if I were to list something today, roughly 45 days from now it would sell. So it's really helpful with like season changes and whatnot. So on the different platforms that I sell on about 7 different platforms. Let me confirm. So definitely selling on Poshmark, eBay, Depop, Vestiaire. That is just like, I don't sell much on that, if any. Mercari, and then Facebook is another one that I always list to it, but I very rarely make any sales. So the number of sales per platform, I made 4 on eBay, 1 on Depop, 1 on Mercari, and then the rest, which was 161 on Poshmark. So going through, I always like to break it up into my lowest profits and my highest profits. And I like to include lowest just because, again, this is realistic. This is, I like to bring real numbers to you and what I'm doing in my reselling room, and some very little pennies that I'm making off of some stuff. So I always list my lowest profits, and then we go into my highest profits, and then I do like to talk about my highest and lowest bundle sales because I always find that important, and then we talk about some notes. All right, so starting off with the lowest of the low profits, I will be including some pictures right here too. The first item is this Zara Mohair Blend ruffled sweater. Super pretty sweater. I did sell it on Poshmark. My cost of goods was $5.59. It sold for only $10. I'm pretty sure that was on like a 60% off offer that I was sending out. So I only profited $1.46. I'm pretty sure because of a shipping cost in there as well, and I did sell on the first time of listing it, so I always like to include how many times I've relisted an item. So this is obviously much lower than what I would like to get. I think this sweater could have sold for more in the proper season, but again, it was a little bit bulky, and when I send out my offers to likers, I really only exclude stuff that I know that I've paid up for and that I know I would lose money on. So if I'm still making money off of things, even if I just listed it, I'm going to send out that offer, because again, I'm not a storage shed, even though I know it looks like it. I'm not. So again, $1.46, not necessarily what I want to be making, especially the time and energy that goes into it. But again, I am somebody who is a firm believer that sales equal more sales. So if I can take a lower offer on something, then typically I'm going to get a higher offer on something else. Just how it goes. So the second item was a Victoria's Secret Dream Angels lined demi pink metallic bra. So this really pretty, very light pink bra with like very ethereal type of silver metallic weaved into it. It sold on Poshmark. My cost of goods was $4. It sold for $12. So I profited $3.03, again, minus the shipping expense. Or that is with the minus shipping expense, excuse me. And again, it was the first time listing it. My next item was a pair of Athleta Frontier jeans in dark blue denim. To be honest, I probably wouldn't have picked these up again. They were an older style of Athleta. You could just tell based off of like the tag on it. And everything. But again, now that I'm thinking about it, if they weren't skinny style, pretty much anything but skinny is popular again. They were like a boot cut kind of style, lower rise jeans. So maybe I would have picked them up again. Who knows? They seemed a little bit more in style, but they definitely were an older pair of jeans from Athleta. I picked them up for $4, sold them again for $10, profited $3.05, and it was the first time of listing them. My next item was a Diletta from Anthropologie, this Natalie Peplum top. Sold on Poshmark. My cost of goods was $2.99. It sold for $12, so I profited $4.04, and it sold within the third time of listing it. And I guess I apparently forgot to list the days of how many days it sold within that time of listing. I know I did for the highest profits, so bear with me. Okay, and so the last in my lowest profiting sales was this really pretty Lane Bryant leopard faux wrap peplum blouse. I know I hauled it in I think my garage sale haul, which I can link up in their corner for you. I do like to do a lot of thrift hauls, so a lot of this stuff you'll probably have seen in a thrift haul. My cost of goods was $2.92. It sold for $12, and so I profited $4.11, and it was the first time listing it. I did notice that I did sell a lot more items within the first time of listing it. So I don't know. I take that back. Most of my items are the first time listing it, but I did have quite a few. I'm looking over to my Excel sheet because I color code things. So most of them were the first time of listing it, but I do have a good chunk of items that have been listed twice, 3 times, 4 times, and even 5 times plus. So it was a really good mix of stuff. All right, so now into my highest profits. These are always fun. Um, One shocking high profit that I had was actually from a fast fashion brand. It is from Fashion Nova. It is this Fashion Nova Vogue Moment printed maxi dress. I picked it up for $10. It did sell on Poshmark. It sold for $63. That's just so crazy. $63. So I profited $40.40, and it sold the first time of listing within 39 days of that first time of listing it. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. That doesn't, hold on. I feel like I relisted that at least once. Give me a second. I had to have. Obviously, when I was making these notes, I was a little bit tired. So some of the information isn't all the way accurate. Give me a second. I'm pretty sure I relisted it at least once. So there you go. But I'm so surprised. A Fashion Nova dress. It was new with tags. I will give you that. And I do specifically remember where I picked it up from and thinking to myself, wow, $10 for a Fashion Nova dress. Are you sure you want to spend that? And then I looked at comps and that's kind of what they were going for. So I was like, let's take the risk and do it. And so it sold and I profited $40. That's pretty awesome. All right, so my next item that I sold was this really unique pair of shorts that's from First of a Kind. They were upcycled Levi's shorts with this really cool chain side. First of a Kind, F-U-R-S-T, that's how it's spelled, is actually upcycled clothing. So they take whatever clothing and then they make it, I don't know, modern. And so it was a pair of Levi's shorts. They cut down the seams. They added this like chain to it. The only thing that was a little bit difficult is I don't think it had a size on it. So I had to measure it and guess, which again is not ideal, but it still sells. I did sell them on Poshmark. My cost of goods was $8.27. It sold for full price for $85. So I profited $59.73. It did take a little bit to sell them. So they sold 30 days within the third time of relisting them. But you know, May, kind of like festival season, summer, it all worked out. All right, so my next item was this really cool looking skirt. At first I thought they were like culotte pants, but it actually ended up being a skirt. And it was from a brand I never heard of. It's called A Piece Apart. And it was the Karen skirt. So it's this really pretty A-line skirt with both a front and a back vent, and it just like really thick textured skirt. I sold it on Poshmark. My cost of goods was $4.12. It sold for $95 within 3 days of the first time of listing it. I profited $71.88. And let me tell you, this skirt sat in my death pile for at least a year and a half. At least a year and a half, maybe even closer to 2. Yes, I'm ashamed. I am ashamed. But the important part is I still got it listed and it still sold very quickly. So don't be like me. Just list your stuff right away. Don't be like me. But anyways, almost $72 in profit. Not too shabby. All right, getting down to the last few items in my highest profit. Another brand I never heard of before. It's called M. M.Gemi, G-E-M-I, and this is the Asado black leather flat. This actually sold on eBay. It did have a little bit of scuffing on the very, very tips of the toes, but I just disclosed that, and you know, no biggie. Sold on eBay. My cost of goods was $2.43. It sold for $85 plus the cost of shipping for the buyer. So I profited $72.02, and it sold 24 days within the first time of listing. So two brands to be aware of: M.Gemi and A Piece Apart. And then another, and my last highest sale was this Pair of Robert Wayne Lenny black leather Chelsea boots. They were this men's Chelsea boot with like a lot of embossing, like leather stamping, embossing, I can't quite remember. And then they had a really pretty, almost like patina turquoise sole to them. They were really nice boots. Sold on Poshmark. My cost of goods was $6, sold for $100. So I profited $76, and they sold 120 days within the second time of relisting them. So 120 days probably would have been close to relisting them for a third time, and I'm pretty sure I accepted an offer of $100. So I guess that's 3 brands to be on the lookout for. Okay, so getting into my bundles. So this month was a little bit unique. I was really wanting to downsize as much as I could because I have so much stuff to inventory, and a lot of it is shoes. I was just telling my friend today, again, we went thrifting, and I was telling my friend today, I was like, shoes is the first thing that I go to and I look at, but shoes are the last thing that I list. I don't know why. I think it's because it's just like cleaning them up and doing all that kind of stuff. It's just easier for me to photograph clothing. So I have tons and tons of shoes. I'm just throwing it out there. I've never done Whatnot or a Poshmark live show, but I'm thinking of doing it just to kind of clear out some shoes. I was thinking about starting the shoes off at like $10 a piece and seeing where they go. I would not really be making any sort of profit here. It's really just kind of clearing up space and kind of getting my money back for them. So if that is something that you would want to participate in, make sure you leave a comment down below or like this video so I can know what you're interested in. Okay, so getting back to, I needed space. So I opted to do a sale, which I try to do a big kind of clearing out sale about once a quarter. So this month I did a sale where everything was $15 once it was bundled. So you at least had to spend $30 to get you know, like each item for $15, if that makes sense. And so what I did is I went through my closet and I pretty much just marked the you know, items that I had paid up for that I would definitely be losing money on. There were some items that I did lose money on, and I consciously did it just because, again, I was trying to clear stuff out, but I knew that I wouldn't be losing like lots of money on it, if that made sense. So items that I definitely spent more than $15 on, I excluded them from the sale. And that just makes it easier for everybody, you know, if you're not like, okay, well, it has to be this much and this. No, if it's just everything that's available is for sale. So that is why I cleared out a lot of stuff, and that's why I had a lot of bundles. I'll talk a little bit more about it in a bit in my notes section. But getting to the bundles, so my lowest profiting bundle was this pair of Stuart Weitzman black patent leather heels and a pair of Jeffrey Campbell ambush camo stilettos. My cost of goods for both items was $20.59. They sold for $30, so I profited $3.41. Interesting about the Stuart Weitzman patent leather heels, I actually picked them up at Plato's. I'd gone to Plato's so many times and like kept looking at them, and they weren't badly priced to begin with. It might have been like $10, but I was like, you know, they're like a little bit of scuffing, you know, the patent leather isn't in great condition, whatever. So I just kind of kept passing them up, and then one day I was there at their clearance sale and they were on clearance, so I definitely snagged them. Those Jeffrey Campbell ambush stilettos I'd had forever. I had a lot of interest in them, but nobody picked them up, so I'm glad both of them went to a new home, especially making room for more shoes. Did I wish I profited more? Of course, but I still profited $3.41, so I'm all good with that. And then my highest profiting bundle was actually, I think, 6 or 7 things. So it was this really cute plus size ModCloth novelty swan shift dress. Really cute, had all these like really pretty swans all over it. It was so gorgeous. I wish it was my size, but it was not. Next one was this CMEO collective off the shoulder top that I had had forever. This MPG Sport black jacket, had forever. This, Lamps ribbed tunic tank, again, had forever. An Athleta breezy scoop t-shirt, this Sindus dress, a Corey Lynn Coulter peplum blouse, and a Rebecca Taylor knit wool blend. My cost of goods was $31.37 for all of the items. It sold for $120, so I profited $64.63. And the wonderful thing about this bundle is that I got rid of a lot of old stale inventory, like practically everything but that ModCloth dress had been relisted like 5 times. So bless you, person who decided to pick up all my old inventory. I thank you so much, and I'm so happy to make such a wonderful profit on it too. So another thing I wanted to include, which I have not included in my previous videos, but I felt like would be important to know, especially for me and other people, is what are selling within the same day. So I had 3 items that sold same day I listed it, which is pretty cool. So the first one was actually from my husband's personal closet. It was this cool Banana Republic plaid shirt. I think it was the slim fit style. I want to say it sold for like $28, something like that. So with personal items, I do negate them out profit wise, so they do not include in my profit, but they do kind of skew my like costs and profits just a little bit. It's just the easiest way for me to do it is just making no profit on it, because technically I think I lost money on it. The next item, funny story. So this is this Aster, the label, super cute floral milkmaid midi dress. So why it's funny, because it actually originally sold on Depop for $45. I think the same day I listed it on Depop, you know, packaged it up, shipped it out, and then the buyer was like, oh, that's my wrong address, I forgot to update it. So basically it got stuck in the post office limbo land forever until it got back to me. And so I just refunded the person, because I didn't, it literally had been like 3 weeks. So I refunded the person, and then I relisted it on Poshmark. I relisted on all platforms, and it sold on Poshmark that same day, again for $45. So my cost of goods was $2.92. I think this was also in my garage sale haul. And so my profit was $33.08. And then the last item that I sold within the same day of listing was this cool KUHL, not COOL, this cool short sleeve plaid top for women. My cost of goods was $2.92, again in my garage sale haul. I sold it for $28 and I profited $17.46. All right, so I would like to have some notes for myself. So the sale was really, really successful. I sold 111 items on Poshmark. That was about, we'll just say approximately 25% of my closet I sold in one day. Wow, one day. So I have a video, gosh, it's been a while since I watch that video, but I do have a video of like how to have a successful Poshmark sale. I'll put it up in the corner for you, but just kind of to summarize it and things that I've learned since then is I used to run sales for like multiple days, and I actually just think that goes it doesn't work in your favor, because you're wanting to kind of create this like a little bit of FOMO, a little bit of like, no, you need to purchase this right now. Is that good ethically? I don't know, but it worked for this sale. So basically, again, I think I kind of explained it earlier, but the sale was, everything was marked down to everything was $15 when bundled. So all they had to do was, bundle the items, and then I would send the offer. So everything additionally would just be $15. So if you bought 5 items times $15, what is that, 60 bucks? 75 bucks. 75 bucks. So you know, people bundled as much as they wanted. So that's why I had so many sales and why I got rid of so many items. And again, it encouraged bundles, and I got rid of a lot of stale inventory, which was the exact purpose of it. And it was only for one day. I did market myself through pretty much just the My Shoppers feature on there. I just wrote a thing, hey, I'm having a sale. I used Canva to make like a sale post. And so I just added that to people's bundles who have engaged with my closet beforehand. And that's where majority of my sales came from. I did market it on Instagram. It literally like went nowhere. I think like 10 people saw it and that was it. I don't advertise on Facebook anymore because the Poshmark Facebook groups are stupid. Maybe that's not a very good word. It's not a very nice word to say. I don't like the Facebook Poshmark groups because there's so many rules. You know, you can't advertise your closet, you can't blah, 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 you can't do that. So I just like gave up and just don't do it from there anymore. But before, I actually did get a few sales, like previous sales that I've had, but it's not worth the hassle of figuring out what group can I post my sale in. It's just, I don't like it. Some more notes. So like I said, I sold 7 personal items within this month, so that does skew the numbers just a little bit slightly. It adds to my total sales and my total cost of goods, but it doesn't add to my profits. So it does skew the numbers just slightly, but not, I don't think anything super significantly. What else did I say? I also noticed kind of a 3-day slump after my sale. So I ran my sale on, looking behind you, May 8th is my sale. And I noticed that after that, I had like kind of a 3-day slump of no sales. And I think that is just the algorithm resetting itself. So I didn't have any sales from there. And my last note to myself is that, like I said, I'm gathering just more details for my reseller recaps. So for June, I do kind of do like a version of a waterfall sale. If you're not familiar, basically sending out ascending offers to people. So, you know, some people who just recently liked it will get like a 30% offer, and then people who've gotten that before will get the 40% offer, blah, 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 blah. So I am kind of seeing for myself what items are selling most for. And I mean, just right off the bat, the 50% offer has been the biggest. I've gotten the most sales from, most traction, I should say. So just information like that, and some more of, because I constantly do a 2 for $40 sales. So again, anything that is priced $99 and below currently, you can bundle them up and get 2 items for $40. Again, it encourages bundles. It also encourages to, you know, get a good deal, because in theory you could buy $198 worth of stuff for $40. So I think that's it. I think that is all I have for you today. So again, listing consistently still really helped. I did waver a little bit in listing. I don't think I listed during my sale just because it was a lot of stuff. I'm a 1-person show in a tiny room, so it was a lot going on, so I didn't necessarily list, but I have still been listing about 8 items probably 5 days a week, 4 or 5 days a week. So that's been keeping a lot of fresh things in. What else? Keeping your cost of goods down as low as you can. Again, I try to only source on days when I get my 20% off at Goodwill's, or yeah, I mean, I don't say I primarily source at Goodwill, but if I am gonna go thrifting on either Sunday or Monday, because that's the days I get my discount, it will be at a Goodwill. The other days, if I have time, I'll source somewhere else, but I try to keep my cost of goods as low as possible so I can encourage the most amount of profit. So anyways, that's all I have for you today. Thank you so much for watching. If you are ever curious about reselling, I have been doing it. I'm coming up on my 10th year. I can't believe, in August. Yeah, August. I'll be coming up on my 10th year of reselling. That's so crazy to think. I definitely don't have all the answers, but it's still a fun journey to navigate. And I like doing these videos to kind of show you that it's possible that you can have a little bit of a side hustle, you know, while still having a full-time job. Let me know, what was your favorite sale from the bunch, or what was your highest profiting sale? I'm always curious to see. I always like to learn new brands, what's going on in other people's closets. So definitely make sure you comment that down below. Please consider subscribing if you liked this type of video. So I do reselling content and beauty content. So if that is ever something that you're interested in. Today's makeup has been on for a little bit of a while now, and it looks better in person, I feel like. Did something a little bit different today. It looks better in person, but it is over 100 degrees in Arizona at this time. So I'm amazed that I still have makeup on at this point because I've been running around like crazy today. So anyways, thank you again so much for watching. I will see you in my next video. Bye.